Hi, I want to show you how I got acne. Probably started when I was about 15. About that time you start wearing makeup, even though you don't really need it and you don't realize it, but you see it in all the magazines because everybody's so pretty. Look how beautiful. Lighting and makeup and hair, hours and hours of work. But you're younger and you want to look older and you want to look like that. So I started using Clinique. Probably was the first thing I ever used, and I used tons of it. The face powder was my favorite, usually in beige. And I'm sure the ingredients have changed over the years, but I used to use the whole set where you have the toner and the soap and the moisturizer. I never used the moisturizer because I never had dry skin. I never needed the moisturizer and it felt thick and gross, and so I always had that extra product. I couldn't put it on my face. So I didn't really break out before I put makeup on. And now I see how it happened, but I do remember using those benzoyl peroxide pads, OxyClean, when I got my very first pimple, and I think it was on my nose was the first one. I remember not washing my face the night before, and that was the first time I ever got pimples, so I must have been like 8th grade. But I was wearing makeup when I didn't need it before that, or about the same time. But also, I found this, and it made my hair look awesome. It gave it perfect curls and perfect bounce, and smelled good, and my hair felt silky, and it was easy to brush. And so I kind of discovered at the same time that I had curly hair, because before I was always trying to straighten it because I wanted to look like that. Because at the time, nobody in magazines had curly hair. There was no tips on how to do curly hair, how to style. It was always straight and blonde and long. And at the time, my hair wasn't long either. I was always praying for long hair, but I was straightening it with a big fat curling iron, or I would put it up in a bun while it was wet, and then by the end of the day, if I was lucky, it would dry kind of straight, and it would be perfect for maybe a few hours. And then it would go poof, poof. But I then found this and discovered I had curly hair. So there was no advertising for curly hair, but I liked my hair all of a sudden, and it started to grow. Well, it turns out the stuff in this and the stuff in this was probably the start of my acne, because many years later, like 15 years later, I still have acne, or I still had acne. I think it's not really acne, it's actually a reaction to stuff that's in this and all these beautiful things you can get at Sephora, and you put all this stuff on your face that you don't need, but you're taught to buy all this stuff, and none of it works. Well, I finally stopped putting on the makeup. I stopped putting anything on my skin. I stopped buying soap. I stopped buying all those acne kits. I had bought, ask me any product, I've tried it, and I can tell you exactly how many hours it takes before I break out after I've used it. So now that I've cleared up, I've gone back to some of the products at Sephora that I used to buy all the time. They were $80 a kit or something. They were not cheap. I also had, when I was up until 20, bought everything at was the Body Shop, everything you could think of that's at CVS, at Walgreens, and used everything separately, followed all the directions, and then you feel like it's your fault because, oh, you must have done something wrong or you didn't do it right. Well, it's not your fault. It's the ingredients in the product that are in here to make it safe to sit on the shelf for months and months and months. It's good for the product, it's not good for your skin. So here's one thing that I tried the other night. So I'm telling you how I got my acne within a day. I was pretty much clear. I, still have some acne scars. So I'm still on the search for something that will speed up clearing my scars, because now that I'm older, it probably is slower. It didn't used to be. I never had little dents in my skin, never had gray marks, even though I had acne. It would break out, it would smooth out, it'd take a while for the red mark to go away, but it would be gone. Now I have these shallow marks. And this is me with makeup on, because I'm going to show you before and after. I have shallow marks here and about here. I had like a big dent here and here from a cyst. That acne that's really, really deep and you can't get it out, and it's really an abscess, which is scary. It's full of blood and stuff, and the longer you leave it unlanced, you don't get that stuff out, the more damage it does to your skin. And so underneath my skin is probably all this damage from all these years of using all these products that were messing up my face. So I thought I would try this. This is MD Skincare Dr. Dennis Gross, one of those expensive kits at Sephora. It's a peel, so it's supposed to get rid of the dead skin and help it rejuvenate. And they're pads. And I thought most of the ingredients are safe, that don't break me out. Lactic acid, hazel, witch hazel is fine, zinc is good, salicylic acid is fine, glycolic acid. But why do I need perfume and EDTA? This one didn't have that many bad ingredients. But this one has stuff I knew I can't use because it makes me break out. And it's in this too. Dimethicone. This one has DM hydrogen. Soy protein. Soy. Any GMO soy makes me break out. And when I eat it, it makes my throat kind of swell up and my ears itch. And I never, ever, ever had allergies before. Growing up, I could eat anything I wanted to. But now, if I try to eat soy, carrots, apples, bananas, I get that kind of feeling in my throat and an itch in my ear. Not like I'm gonna, oh my god, I'm gonna die like you hear of peanut allergies, but I think it's the beginning of the allergy, and so I know that I can't eat those. And if it's organic, I can eat the carrots and the apples, but I found products that said they were organic soy, I still couldn't eat it. It still had that reaction, so I don't know if it's really organic or if there's some other chemical in there that they're using. And like I said, I used to live on veggie burgers and tofu, and I think at a time it was healthy, and now it's just not anymore. They mess with the food so much. They put all these extra ingredients. So I used the 1 and not the 2 because I knew that the 2 would definitely break me out. It's got urea, EDTA, the soy. Retinol's okay. It repairs your skin, but it can also cause a breakout. So it's kind of hard because you're trying to fix the problem, but you also create a problem at the same time, and you have to kind of figure out how you're going to deal with the breakout after it's irritated your skin. So, okay, I used the pad on my cheeks where I have the marks, and here, the shallow marks. And I'm going to show you my breakout. I'm going to take off all the makeup, and then I'm going to show you how to clear it up, and we'll see how long it takes for my skin to clear. Because it's been a while. I haven't needed this product in a long time. But I use it once in a while, and it is what saved my face. I wish I had found it 15 years ago. because I wouldn't have worn the makeup if I knew better. And unfortunately, like if you have a job, you feel obligated to put makeup on to cover the red spots. And when it comes to the bumpy stuff, and that's what I got right now from the pads, you can't cover that up with makeup. You actually kind of make it look worse because it's all flaky and bumpy, and it kind of highlights it. So here you can kind of see, even with the makeup, you can see it's bumpy, flaky. You can only do so much. You can see the bumps. So no matter what they try to sell you on makeup, you cannot cover up bumps. Unless you put a really thick, even layer on your whole face that's going to suffocate it and make it break out even more, you cannot hide the bumps. And it will look horrible with that much makeup on your face. But that's what models do, to look like this on camera. I don't know. She probably looks pretty good in person. She's probably had years of tips, and maybe she knows what I know. Okay, so let's take this off. And this, whew, it may burn a little if you have active acne going on, the red bumps that have broken out or that you picked at. That will hurt. If you have ones that aren't open, it won't hurt at all. And it really does not dry out my skin. They kind of advertise to you that, oh my god, you can't have alcohol in your hair or your makeup, it'll dry out your skin. That's not true. I found this is better than the Clinique toner, which they just changed recently, and it has more ingredients in it now that I know break me out. I haven't used that toner since they changed the formula, but what they did is they took out more of the alcohol and they put something else in. I remember talking to someone at Sephora about it, and they didn't notice because a lot of people don't look at the label. Look up the ingredients in your product and find out what's in there, because one thing can be good and another thing can be horrible for your face. And or the combination of ingredients can make you break out. So what I've done over the last 2 years is pick apart product by product and just use that one product to see how it reacts. And I'll go in Sephora and I'll pick a spot on my face that's perfectly clear, no pimples, hasn't been pimples in days or months, and within hours I'll break out from a product that's supposed to not break you out, that's supposed to clear acne. So now I know all those kits I was buying and spending a fortune on were actually breaking me out. See, it's a bit flaky down here. Camera doesn't really want to zoom in on it, but you can see it's bumpy and red. And also, you don't, when you clean your face, you don't want to rub, scrub. You will actually cause acne. I mean, I could pick a spot on my face and rub it, and I will get bumps and break out in that spot, and that's friction acne. You want to be smooth. When it comes to exfoliate, that's BS. You don't need to rub and scrub. You just need to get whatever you put on your face off. And I usually will get blackheads around here, probably from lipstick. So we'll see. I'm going to change the lighting in the next video so you can get a really good look at the bumps and the marks. And then I'll show you how I get rid of it.